I love to bowl. Now in bowling, your goal is to get a 300 game. You want to get a perfect strike first ball every time, every frame for 12 sets of pins, and then you get to have a 300 game. Perfect score. Now, once you miss one pin, or you get the rest of the pins on the second ball in that frame, you've missed the mark. There is nothing you can do. You cannot get a perfect 300 game from that point on. We have all missed a pin. We have all fallen short of the perfect game God intended us to play. We were made to be in a perfect relationship with God. This life isn't pointless. It's chaotic, it's fallen, it's broken, but it's not pointless. We were meant to be walking with God. Now, because we've missed a pin, because we have sinned, because we have decided to rebel against the way God designed us to live, we live in the world we do now, this fallen, broken world. But because God is merciful, he sent his son to die on a cross for us. He sent his son to bowl that perfect 300 game for us. He sent his son to live a perfect life. And for whatever reason, God decides that he is allowing us to take credit for his son's perfect life. Because God is just, sin has to be paid for. But because God is merciful, he delays the payment and pays it forward. He pays it for us. He sends his son to live in our place. And all we have to do is accept that life, accept Christ's sacrifice, put our faith in him, and we will be able to live in right relationship with God. We will be able to live in the original intended purpose God had for us, walking in relationship with him. You get to be a son or daughter of an eternal king. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a phenomenal deal to me. I don't know how I get such an opportunity that I am able to rebel against an eternal king, and he would then allow his son to die on a cross for my sake. That he would love me enough to let his son die on the cross. That he would love all of mankind enough. He loves you enough to let his son die on the cross so that you can have the opportunity to be in a right relationship with him. And if I'm being honest, I don't know how you guys can get through this without Christ. I don't know how you can go through life without God, without hope. Like, what do you put your hope in? Do you put it in your physical strength, in your power, status, in your job, in your own achievements? All of that will turn to dust eventually. We're on a finite spinning rock, and eventually this thing is going to turn to dust. Not to be a downer, but that's the reality of the world we live in. Where can you put your hope in that? Except in an eternal God and an eternal creator. Because of Christ's sacrifice, we have the opportunity to live an eternal relationship with God. We are eternal beings. We have been made in the image of God. We're going to spend eternity in one place or the other. And the best thing for us is to live in eternity with God. I don't want to see anyone have to go live in eternity apart from God. That's the exact opposite of what we were intended to do. But because God gave us free will, he is willing to let you make that choice. He is willing to let you choose an eternity apart from him. Focus on what's eternal. I'll see you tomorrow.